Happy Christmas, everyone. Thor here for another Lovebite reaction. And honestly, right, I was looking at the videos, I was like, man, I haven't done a reaction to the Crusades yet. As everyone knows, the Crusade, that is about Christmas. It feels like a really bad joke. Yeah, I'm laughing to myself here. But honestly, right, leave a comment below what they do for Christmas. So I'm gonna do a few videos this week, of course, right? Because I have family coming over, my brother is here right now and so on, right? But I'm trying to get a few videos out to you guys this week as well, right? With Lovebites and all the reactions as well. And I'm gonna make a longer video course after, like, probably next week. I'll probably be streaming more too, because I'm gonna be on vacation for 2 weeks after this as well. So I'm gonna be streaming, doing more talks, right? So be subscribed for that. It'll be interesting. Talking about some music, talking about some video game, anime, all the pop culture stuff. I'll do my, best game of the year, best show of the year, all the good stuff, right? So, but anyway, now I don't know, but the Crusade, right, has to do with Christianity. So is it Jesus Christ, right? We picked that for Christmas here. Christmas. Okay, so very quick note here, guys, and I always find it interesting, and I might actually make a video about this coming this week if I have time, and of course it's how Christmas works, right? Okay, so let me just go a little bit tandem here, but Christmas is quite different in Sweden, okay, and I'll explain it more. So let's tour briefly to you how Christmas is in Sweden. It's quite different. So in Sweden, 25th is not actually the big day. No, it's the day before, 24th, which is tomorrow. Then do this video here. 24th is the big day when everyone in the family celebrate, and you open the presents and you watch Donald Duck at 3. Very important. So even if I moved away from Sweden right when I was 22, I still watch Donald Duck 3 o'clock every day, every Christmas. After my brother, me, moved to Japan, right? It's still like, now we have to watch Donald Duck at 3 o'clock, right? This is how it is. That's how it is, right? And Ivanhoe on New Year's Day, yeah, like the morning. It's very, very traditional. Then in the next day, 25th, that's the party drunk day. And the way I look at it in Sweden, I think it's interesting because it's basically a class reunion. So 25th, everyone goes out and gets hammered. First you have your förfest, which is very important, right? Then you have the party and the afterfest, right? So it's like you're drinking from like 3 or 2 or something in the day until like maybe 4 or 5 in the evening, night or whatever. Yeah, you drink for like 12, 13 hours. I had one of those 25th day, went to my best friend's place. He has this huge like arcade place. We play pinball machines, play table tennis. I was drinking for like 6-7 hours, play video games. Then we go to the party in the city for like 5 hours. Then we go some tend to get snips and go whatever. Yeah, then you get later there. Like it's crazy, and it's like a crazy class reunion because it's kind of like, at least for me, right, not living in my hometown since I finished senior high school, moving away to university, and then out to country, so on, right? So it's kind of like everyone comes back that day, everyone just parties, and I have a lot of weird stories of meeting old classmates or old friends, right, and whatever, and well, what interesting on the video, but I remember one friend and classmate, and we were friends for many years. His father was a teacher actually at high school, and he was a very, very stern teacher. And we used to hang out at his place, right, sometimes. But his family was kind of very, very, conservative, extremely, like weirdly. They had no freedom. He wasn't allowed to have friends after like 5 o'clock in the day or something when he was like 10. It was strange. It was weird, right? His father teacher then, right, got into an accident, okay? He got into an accident. I actually met him that day because he got into an accident while he was swimming, he was diving, and I actually met him before that, like an hour before. And he got into a coma. So his dad, the teacher, become like paralyzed for life. Okay, so super sad, right? Obviously sad. And, completely, freak accident. He died, hit his head when he was diving, paralyzed his life. Then the son, though, my friend, that I've been friends with like 10 years, right? That was, again, very stern parents and like the father was injured. He just like ran away from home or something. Like he just jumped. He dropped out of senior high school because he was like super hit A+ and everything, right? And then I didn't see him until a Christmas Eve. That is 25th. Sorry, whatever you call it in English, Christmas Day, whatever. Yeah, I didn't see him for like 7-8 years. I think 8 years until one of those Christmas Days reunion parties. Like that was happening. He's back. He moved to Norway, okay? This guy, he moved to Norway. So, I'm from Sweden, right? But, my father's from Norway, whatever. So this guy moved to Norway, and he was working as like a fish gutter cleaner for like apparently 7-8 years. Except very well paid, right, for having salaries. Started doing that when he was like 16 or something then. Because, so his father got injured, he just stopped caring or whatever. No one stopped him, right? He's been doing that. And there was so much money in it, and I'm just like, okay, what happened to you? You're rich, did you build a house? He's like, nah. I was like, no. And he was really weird too, right? And it's like, what happened to you? He used to be like a perfect A+ student, right? And he was just like, no, but I spent it all on crack and horse. So this guy, I remember talking about it in my video before, but this guy had like, he had moved to Norway, got this like, you know, really high paying job, right, for having no education. And then he spent all the money he made for like the last 7-8 years, this really gruesome job, right, just on, prostitutes and dope, and now he was completely also brain dead and so on. And he used to be like the perfect +8 student, man. I was like, man, but I remember it so well because there was a Christmas party, man, you know, Christmas reunion, man. Anyway, no, you know how Sweden is. I love those days, 25th. I won't be there this year. I won't be, you know, going back this year, right? I'm staying here, but it's so long travel back to my hometown for this year. But that's why I remember this day so much too, because it is like this class reunion. Every 25th is like you meet these really weird people that you talk to them. Like, what happened to you? You had like A+ in every subject. Oh no, I'm like I lost all the money on dope or something. Okay, you're right. There's always some of those stories, man. But yeah, guys, I gave you some Christmas party stories. Yeah, tell me your favorite story. Let's get to the Crusade at Christmas. So what do you guys think about these kind of videos now? I mean, obviously, this is like a live, but not actual live, right? You see, it's an edited live, right? I mean, yeah, it's not an actual live, the music isn't actually what you're singing, right? It's just an ambient put over it. And it's not a music video either in a sense, because it's not like a full story. I don't know, I think I have to be honest here, guys, and I'll not be hater here, but I do prefer it, I would say, right, when it's like an actual, you know, like a music video, where it's like a full story and so on. That being said, let's see, this is interesting, because I do really like the one when they are in UK, right, and you see them meeting people, and they're going around and so on. Also, because I recognize the castle immediately, because I've been there. Like, that might be why, let's be honest. I was like, oh, that is a castle in England, I've been there like a month ago. I was just like, oh yeah, I was like in England just like, I think 1 week before I watched the video. That also might be why. But anyways, keep okay, I think this is kind of cute, seeing them, you know, working on the tracks, right, the lyrics, so on. But I have to say, this is not so much of a music video that my best friend would do, right? Because he's himself a musician, he has a recording studio, all this stuff, right, you know what I mean? And this really reminds me so much of how he would do it, because he's just like, oh, what I do is so interesting, you know what I mean? This is how he would think. He would love to make, I mean, this is like showing himself working, sitting there on the like, look at me controlling this control panel, yeah, like he's, this feels like he would love to make this kind of, he would make every video, if he could, he would make all of his video like this, right? When you see him, this is what I do on the side, you know, yeah, this is what I do when I produce stuff, right? Look at me in my producing seat kind of thing, look at me pressing the buttons here. He would love to do videos like this, yeah. It is a little bit like, yeah, this is what we do, man, look how badass we are. Very much like behind the scene, he would love this so much, man. Jesus Christ, he should do like a Spinal Tap video, he would love it. Anyways, keep going. That was a great part, guys. That was awesome. Let's just redo it. Yeah, let's go back and redo it, man. That was definitely my favorite part so far. This is... Yeah, here, this part here. I love it. I don't know. I always ask people this, man. Is a good opinion to have? I don't know. But for me, right, I think I always like the stuff when it comes back to being like a video gamer, right? Deep down, right? You know, everything for me comes to games. No, but it's like, I worked on games, made some music for games, right? And this kind of tracks, I love it so much because I'm always imagining like, could this be like a boss music, you know? I keep saying that, but that to me is like, you know, I hope people send me this like an epicness for me. Like, okay, can this be a good boss music? You know what I mean? I always thinking like, you know, I was thinking like, could this be a good boss fight, right? Something like that in my head. That's always why I value it. So when this part starts here, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Lovebites when they're the best, man. This is like the perfect boss team, you know? So let's go again. This one, yeah, this could be a boss battle. This is quite a boss battle. I mean, this is the perfect boss fight. See, I wanna make like a Devil May Cry game, play that the game, and having Lovebites do all this stuff like that. Yeah, damn it, that's like one of my dreams now, man. See, this is what I mean. I would love to direct a game, right? That is more, you know, first of all, I prefer, as every gamer, right, whatever, any creative person, you still kind of prefer doing your own genre, right? I mean, I love a lot of different genres in music and gaming and anime or whatever, TVs, right? But first and foremost, I like combats. That's like my main thing, like combat systems. So it kind of goes any kind of genre, honestly. But I still kind of prefer, you know, like hardcore, deep role-playing games or whatever, right? So I never worked on a game like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta or whatever, right? But I can just imagine, like, okay, if I was directing, I was making a game like, you know, Devil May Cry with Dante, you know, and having Lovebites. I would be like, I'm hiring Lovebites, and they're gonna make all the soundtrack. I'm gonna have some my own Devil trigger, right? It's gonna be like, whatever my game is, you know, Angel trigger. I'm gonna put this thing on, or something similar. I'm like, yes, you know, like power up, you know, and my character draws her angel sword, and this thing starts, you know, you're like, bam, and you get like a power transformer. That's what I'm imagining in my head, you know, like this is what I'm imagining, you know, this would be goddamn badass, right? I see the trailer, and that's what I'm thinking in my head, right? It would be freaking amazing. Oof. Oh, this is a great song. Yeah, I mean, obviously I really like this second, I guess we call it after the Act 3, right? Something like that, after the chorus. This part was amazing, second part of the, like, really like that. Like I said earlier, right, to be the perfect, like, freaking soundtrack for, like, a action game. Like, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, something similar, Vanquish, something like that. Just driving in there, this was playing, really perfectly for that. Really good. But I will say, though, as I mentioned earlier, right, to be fair, that's my channel, right, some people hate that, but, you know, I tend to be brutally honest, right. I think the music video per se, though, was kind of like, yeah, that felt immediately honest, right. Not that it's like this is terrible. I mean, I think it's cute, they're working in the background or whatever, and, you know, this kind of scenery. But yeah, I think the music video is actually probably one of the weaker ones they've done, because, you know, it's kind of like, random stuff happening behind the scenes or whatever, and it looks cute. And these kind of things, yeah, I mean, it's adorable. It's kawaii, right? So, you know, so I'm not saying it's terrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is 10 out of 10 the worst things in my life. I'm not saying that, right? But it does feel kind of. I think in my head I keep comparing it around, you know, when you're in the UK traveling, right? This one here feels kind of more just behind the stage, right? Where that one feels more, how I say, directed, literally directed, right? But it feels more directed as in like, okay, we're here in Edinburgh, now we're in York or whatever, and you see kind of like they're traveling, you see different avenues, different cities. They're in the you know the what's it called? The caravan, I guess. Yeah, they're in the caravan or they're traveling to the city, and then they have these moments during the caravan. It feels way more, you know, like kind of like a documentary almost, something like that, right? You know, I actually just rewatched Spinal Tap, right, because of course Rob Reiner's passing. So like, and I was like, man, yeah, that almost is like a fake mockumentary, they call it, right? But it's always kind of fun following these, you know, groupies or whatever, right? Obviously, I said earlier, I grew up with, you know, being a big Kiss fan and so on. I've seen all of their stuff behind the scenes or whatever, right? And I think the other music video feels more like that, right? Where it feels more, like I said, it's an actual, it's a journey, right? It's like we're going here, now we're here. And I was sound silly, but you know what I mean? It's more like, okay, a party. This one is just fine, but yeah, I think it doesn't really tell me much more than that. And compared to the older music videos, right, there's like a story, it's a church, there's some kind of sword in the background, there's a fight, it's like Midori, it's a badass samurai lady, you know, it's like Lady Midori puts up her katana, and obviously that stuff is way cooler, so, it sounds like I hate it now, but I think it's fair to say, Live Come Below, guys, this is a good song, great song, especially the second part is really, really good, but yeah, visually, this is probably one of the weaker music videos, honestly, right? I'm losing 10 subscribers now. No, I think it's like I said, I don't think it's like bad, but I think it's just kind of okay, right? Yeah, it's like, it's okay, it's adorable. But very strong musically, a little bit otherwise than the other ones, definitely. Anyway, otherwise, guys, have a Christmas. You know, live below what you're wishing for, right? And yeah, I guess most of you people watching the video will get your presents 2 days from now, like I said earlier, right? That's a big difference here, right? Yeah, I never got that. August 24th, the open Christmas. Everywhere else in the world is crazy. But otherwise, you guys can have a Merry Christmas.